Gym versus no gym. Before I get into the video and kind of explain what's happening, I need to clarify a few things. One, the fitness industry and also social media are oftentimes misleading. So for example, this photo right here, this was taken maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and my primary focus was on aesthetics, looking as nice as possible. Also, it's with a professional photographer. The lighting is phenomenal. I cut my chest hair because the hairier you are, the less definition you can see. I'm also even tanner in this photo. And the darker your skin color, the more definition you can also see. And I got a pump before. So I was exercising before to make my muscles look a lot more full and bigger. And last but not least, I put oil on my skin to bring out even more definition. So however, I don't know how to Photoshop in the sense where it's like, say I got like a pimple and to remove the pimple or to make my muscles look bigger and fuller. I don't know how to do that. I know how to play with the lighting, but I don't know how to do that. So here are some other photos. And again, at this time in my life, I am going to the gym, I'm focusing on aesthetics, and I'm trying to look as nice as possible. And a lot of these photos are very professional and well done. Some are professional modeling photos, and even some of them are Photoshopped. Because you're probably like, Dustin, you look so young. Well, some of it is Photoshop because I have wrinkles, I have dark circles, and I have sunspots. That is the reality of life, and unfortunately, people are often misled when it comes to advertisements, the fitness industry, social media. So I'm just trying to make things as transparent as possible. This photo right here is the no gym photo, and that's also misleading because I do exercise at my house, and I've sort of built a gym at my house, which I'll get into a little bit later in the video. But some of the key differences between these two photos is one, I'm not focused on aesthetics. Two, I'm primarily focused on arm wrestling. Go! And unfortunately, with arm wrestling, especially when you start, you get hurt a lot. And when I started arm wrestling, I lost a lot of muscle mass because some movements hurt my joints, my tendons, my ligaments so much. With time, I was able to build it back up because you get used to it. But unfortunately, even with arm wrestling right now, I'm not so involved with it because of getting hurt again with some nerve issue that I had in my left arm. So I've lost a lot of muscle mass because of that issue and that problem that I had. I get hurt a lot, you guys. Oftentimes when I do get hurt, I just work around it. But with the nerve issue that I had in my left arm, I lost the range of motion. And it's like the first time it really discouraged me from exercising. And I'm thankful now because I'm getting back into it. So if some of you have been hurt before or lost motivation, I can totally and completely relate now. And even my priorities now are different than what they were before, because I stopped doing, say, like bench press or just pushing movements in general a very long time ago. And now I'm loving doing pushing movements. I'm doing lots and lots of pushing movements. So it comes to the question, how do I actually exercise? This is the most commonly asked question. People send me private messages. Hey, Dustin, what's your exercise routine? Dustin, what's this? What's this? Well, today, right now, it might be different in a month. If you asked me 6 months ago, before my left arm injury, it was entirely different as well. But I've come to rediscover pressing exercises. Yes, I'm enjoying it so much. I really want to bench 315 pounds, which I don't know in kilos, but that's like my milestone. I don't have a conventional bench press, so I'm focusing on floor presses. Here's an example. And then I'm also focusing on weighted push-ups. Here's an example. So I will change variations with that. So I might change my grip to a reverse grip or narrow or wide or the range of motion that I'm pushing. So with these exercises and what I'm doing, I have a very high frequency. So I'm training at least every other day or every day. And I won't get into like the nitty gritty of everything, the super fine details, but I'm training this exercise very, very often. So followed up with that, so trying to help with my pressing motion, I do something called a JM press. Here's an example. This exercise right here is working more of my triceps to help with my pressing movements. So follow that, I'll do some sort of pulling movement. So right now here is an inverted row, and you can't really see on the video, but my feet are on one of those red chairs in the background. And then last but not least, depends how much motivation I have, I might do some weighted pull-ups. So right now I'm just doing 3 times 3. 2. 62. So most of the things that I do, especially for pressing movements, I have a high frequency, but I'm not doing a ton of reps. I might try to work up to a very heavy single, double, or even triple. So if I were to leave it at that, that would be my complete workout. Maybe following the other day, if I'm doing a leg exercise, I do something called a Zercher squat. This is by far my favorite type of squat because it works your upper back and your traps so well, and you don't really need much with this. So, and if you don't have a barbell, you know, sometimes I use a tree stump or something a little bit heavier. And some of you guys are probably like, well, Dustin, I don't have weights at my house. Well, that's okay too. Calisthenics are absolutely great. I have a friend named Sun. Maybe some of my Vietnamese audience have seen him from a street workout, Lang Hoa. Phenomenal shape, and he's doing calisthenics. When I first moved to Vietnam, living in Nha Trang, I used to only do calisthenics at the beach. And I had one friend, his name was Kai. I'm so jealous because he was in such good shape for what he was doing, and he was just doing bodyweight stuff, you know, jump chui, he say dung, no, like handstand push-ups and pull-ups and push-ups in general, and I think even some squats here and there too. But I'm getting off topic because I kind of do calisthenics and I kind of don't. But anyways, the Zercher squat, which I just mentioned, also for hamstrings, this is an example of what I do for hamstrings. Sorry, the footage is not that great. I personally don't enjoy this exercise at all. I'm trying to find a different hamstring variation that I can do at my house. This exercise is phenomenal. It works really well. It's very hard. I can't even do it with a slow negative. I just kind of fall down and push back up. I don't like it. I just personally don't enjoy it. And if you're somebody who hasn't exercised before and you're wanting to get into fitness, you got to do things that you enjoy and you like. That's the most important thing. Say you only like the bench press. Well, if that keeps you motivated to exercise and have a healthy lifestyle, then just only bench press. If you're a woman and you're like, I don't want to do anything, just focus on my butt, my glutes, then do squats, lunges, hip thrusters. Just do what you like at the end of the day. Maybe later on when you learn a bit more, you want to change things up to prevent injury, which I have lots of. To summarize kind of what I would do in a typical day, heavy pressing movement, followed by some sort of tricep work, followed by some sort of pulling movement. But I also do conditioning based exercises. I have a lot, but the two that I'm focusing on right now, number one is a farmer's walk. Here's an example. And with this exercise, I like it, but the limiting factor for me is the amount of weight. I can carry a lot more weight than what I have. So for me, I have to walk like really far around my property, maybe like 100, 200 meters, and then I really feel it after some time. But this exercise right here, this is probably a very low IQ exercise and a very high risk to benefit ratio, but in a perfect situation, you'd want to use a sledgehammer or you're actually just chopping wood. The last one I broke and I'm like, I need something right now. So I put a chain with 5 kilograms on it and I'm hitting a tire. I'm very careful when I do this and I don't really recommend it for safety precautions for people at home, but this one will completely destroy you. You'll feel it everywhere the next day. But conditioning exercises I like to do maybe after my workout, or say I do pressing movements one day, the next day I might just do conditioning based exercises. So also for, say, isolation-based exercises, right now I don't really do anything for my biceps. My left arm, surprisingly, is a lot weaker than my right arm. I think partially due to the injury that I had. I do like to do one-arm negatives or holds with my right arm. My left arm, I can't do them, so I don't even bother. And I do train my right arm a bit more than my left arm. I'd love to have like that mutant X-Men look, like just a massive right arm and a really small left arm. That would be super cool. But for aesthetics, it's not great, but different priorities the older I get. Huge right arm, small left arm. Yeah. For me personally, some of the differences between, say, working out at home or going to the gym, I'm actually a social person. Some people really hate this about the gym, but I like to make friends at the gym. Minus like the random English lessons that I'll get in Vietnam. Sometimes people approach me and they just want to practice their English, and I don't always enjoy that, but I often make a lot of friends at the gym. And also when I go to the gym, I'm more motivated to do more exercises in a higher like volume in some ways, because I like the gym atmosphere. Like overall, for certain priorities, the gym, if you don't have access to things at home, you're gonna have a lot more selections at the gym. But say at home, I just walk outside and I exercise. It saves me a lot of time. I don't have to wait for people at the gym, and I pretty much can do what I need to get done and then start my day with it. However, when it comes to exercising at my house, I have to do it very early morning because it gets way too hot during the day and it's really uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable for me. And also, I wake up very early. Today I woke up at 3:30. I fell asleep yesterday at 7. I love to exercise immediately when I wake up, but I need some light for a couple reasons. One, I don't have actual electricity where I exercise, so I can't see anything. And two, there's a ton of flies and mosquitoes. So as soon as the sun comes up, a lot of them either die off or they go away. So it's I have to wait for the sun to come up. So whenever sunrise is, generally speaking, I'll try to plan something to exercise then. I really hope maybe this video can motivate some of you or even make you feel a little bit better about yourself. I know it's like the photos I showed you early on. A lot of things on social media and even the fitness industry, it's very misleading. You can see me right now. I try to get a good angle so it's quite clear, my wrinkles, my circles, I have sunspots. And when it comes to anything with modeling, I'm wearing makeup. I have phenomenal lighting. I have a professional crew. I'll even have my wrinkles and sunspots removed on Photoshop. So you're going to look a lot different. For those that are at home or who want to get into exercise, you guys, you're more than welcome to leave questions and certain things below, because I probably not on this channel, but on my other channel, I will try to answer or even make videos about it. And I'll just leave this editing very simple. I'll just kind of talk and ramble on about stuff. But I hope this can maybe motivate some of you guys where you can still do things at your house. And my priorities, I'm not focusing on trying to look as nice as possible, but yet you can still look pretty good and decent on the big spectrum of things. So again, if you don't like the exercise, you don't have to do it. Like with my arm wrestling that I'm doing here, I stopped training my legs entirely because I have to make weight class and I'd love to compete internationally. I'm set myself back a while now. It's gonna take me some time to get back to my strength level at that time, but it's do whatever you want to do at the end of the day. That's all. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it somewhat informative and useful. I'm not sure if it came off that way. I hope it did. If you guys want to see other exercises or things I'm doing, you can check out my other social media channel. I'll put the information in the description box below and also comment with it on the YouTube comments. And with the other channel, I'm more than happy to answer different questions or whatever. But for you guys, I hope you have a great day and take care. Tạm biệt.